Good morning, everybody. It's 8 o'clock on May 5th on Wednesday morning. I just want to recap on gold and the SP 500, and so you can kind of see what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking here. More or less, here's a Kitco overlay chart. This is a chart I'm going to pretty much show every day whenever I'm talking about gold because it overlays 3 days on top of each other. And in the past report, I was talking about how gold was running up and how volume was dropping off and people were getting tired or not willing to pay higher prices for it because there was less and less volume. So we saw prices run up and there was volume on the chart that was going down, and I said we're getting close to a temporary top here. And we saw on Monday, we saw prices start to jump around here, almost like a mini head and shoulders. That is shoulder, head, shoulder, and then it just kind of drifted. It actually sold down later in the evening, which is, it doesn't happen too often. Usually it'll just pretty much go sideways in the evening, and if anything, it sells down early in the morning. So once I saw this action, I knew gold was starting to get a little toppy, and then I mentioned yesterday that gold, we might get the similar action and a run up and a squeeze higher, and it's going to get everybody to panic into gold, and then it's going to drop down. I figured it would drop down to around the 1180 zone, but instead it actually dropped and really wiped a lot of people off the board. And in the afternoon, we actually saw a couple of these bounces, almost like a mini reverse head and shoulders here, and then it kind of faded and sold off into the morning, into the evening. But this choppy action, so this blue choppy action here, once you see it start to jump around, you know that move is getting exhausted. So the trend is up, and you know it's starting to get a little tired. And of course, yesterday we had the big sell-off when we started to get this choppy action. So I had a feeling that the move was starting to get a little tired, and so we took a long position. And this morning, which is this green line, we can see gold's pretty much tested exactly where I wanted the test to come in at 1165 for gold, and we're starting to get these bounces here. So gold is in a support range, and buyers are starting to step in. With any luck, we might see some type of move up today, and that'll be good for the position. So let me just show you a couple other charts, just to recap here. This is the gold daily chart, and right now we are, not much has changed from yesterday. We went in yesterday near the bottom of this candle, and we're right in the middle of this this zone here, this little cluster of and a breakout. So pretty much we had a breakout, and now it's pulled back. It's testing that breakout. We've got 2 cycles heading up, which should start to help lift gold. So that's what we're looking at on the daily chart. And on the hourly chart, we let me just see here. Hourly chart, we're pretty much in the same zone. Not much has changed. We're right across this top through this cluster here, right through the center, which is about which is a key support level. And right now, gold is it's starting to bounce here. It's trying to, it sells down and then finds support. And a lot of times, what gold will do, gold will break the previous low. So you can see there was a low set on this bar, and then there was another low, and a lot of times the market will keep breaking those lows, just trying to shake people out of the positions. And so this low was pretty key, and through the night we saw it broken right here again, and that's just shaking out another batch of people. So these little shakeouts and then rallies back, those are actually fairly bullish signs, and all it's doing is it just keeps scaring everybody, thinking it's going to break down and start making a new low, a new sell-off, and it's just flushing everybody out. So it's kind of it's a very bullish thing, and it's clearing the waters for gold to move higher. So what I want to look at on this chart here is also the price action. We saw a sharp sell down, and then we had a small pause, and then it's pushed down a bit, and now it's just kind of trying to pop its head to make new lows to shake everybody out, which is what I want to see. So I'm going to show you some charts of the S&P with a similar price action and what we might get out of it. We still might get a small push a little bit lower here, and hopefully it won't trigger our stops, but we'll have to play it by ear there. So if we zoom in on the SP 500, you can see we've got this was a January high over here, which is similar to what I've been talking about we're seeing here. And I think where we are right now is starting this decline. And we've got over here we had cycles heading down, and now here we've got cycles heading down. And right now we're in a support level, which is through this sideways cluster here. So we're pretty much right through this level here, and that's where we're pausing. If this level is broken, we're most likely going to drop right through the middle, probably down to about this level. And what concerns me somewhat, and I mentioned it yesterday, is if the S&P does break down and do another large sell-off similar to over here, it's most likely going to pull gold with it, and we could get kicked out of the trade. But we do have a setup in gold, so I don't want to miss it. And but there is a little added risk, because if the S&P sells down, all that fear is going to carry over, and even though gold is considered a safe haven, a lot of people are still going to just sell gold and get out of the entire market because they're panicking. And so if stocks sell down, it's going to put pressure on gold for sure. So hopefully we don't see that. Hopefully we get some type of bounce up into a resistance level here, and with any luck we might actually it'll boost gold. We might actually pull some money off the table or move our stops to break even to protect our position. And who knows, we might get a short play off the bounce to bring us down to this level here. So that's what I'm looking at the S&P, and how it kind of relates with the gold play, how it'll affect it. I just want to show you a similar pattern to what I've seen before. This is the S&P. Now take this gray line here, you can kind of see it spikes up, and what this gray line is, it's selling. It's a selling ratio for the NYSE, and every time it makes these highs, the market usually has tanked because it's panic selling, and after the market tanks, it'll bounce and then it'll make a low. So you get a straight down move, and then you get a bounce, and it breaks the low, flushes the rest out, and then you see a rally. And pretty much with these extreme levels up here, we saw the same thing yesterday. It sold down, it's bounced up, and now it's kind of heading back down, and we might get a little bit of a push lower today, and we could get that bounce we're looking for, which will be right through the middle of this resistance level, so somewhere up into the 1185, 1190 area, and it could be a good opportunity to go short now that to me the trend is looking down for the S&P, so I want to short rallies. So that's what I'm seeing on the intraday chart. And notice this gray line, as it rallies up, price sells down, and then you're going to get these sideways action and squeeze lower, and then this rally. So it happened here. It looks like it's setting up right now for another little bounce. If we zoom back in time here a couple more days, we had the same thing. Gray line rallied all the way up into here. We saw the S&P sell down, and then it pushed lower, and then finally snapped and bounced back because it was completely oversold, and everybody jumped back into the market. So we saw it happen there again, and similar here, we see the big selling. This was a little different action, but still pretty close to the same. It's just a constant selling down. It hits to an extreme, and then it bounces back up. So that's what I'm looking at. We might get that. We might get something like that today and get a bounce up to the 1190 area. And we'll have to play it by ear, but that's what I'm seeing right now. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.